Chapter 21. Jehovah turned his attention to Sarah, just as he had said, and Jehovah did for Sarah what he had promised. So Sarah became pregnant, and then bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the appointed time God had promised him. Abraham named his newborn son, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, just as God had commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Then Sarah said,
God has brought me laughter. Everybody hearing of it will laugh with me.
And she added,
Who would have said to Abraham, Sarah will certainly nurse children, yet I have given birth to a son for him in his old age.
Now the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham prepared a big feast on the day that Isaac was weaned. But Sarah kept noticing that the son of Hagar the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, was mocking Isaac. So she said to Abraham,
Drive out this slave girl and her son, for the son of this slave girl is not going to be an heir along with my son, with Isaac.
But what she said about his son was very displeasing to Abraham. Then God said to Abraham, Do not be displeased by what Sarah is saying to you about the boy and about your slave girl. Listen to her, for what will be called your offspring will be through Isaac. As for the son of the slave girl, I will also make a nation out of him, because he is your offspring. So Abraham got up early in the morning and took bread and a skin bottle of water and gave it to Hagar. He set these on her shoulder and then sent her away along with the boy. So she departed and wandered about in the wilderness of Beersheba. Finally, the water in the skin bottle was used up, and she pushed the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went on and sat down by herself, about the distance of a bowshot away, because she said,
I do not want to watch the boy die.
So she sat down at a distance and began to cry aloud and to weep. At that, God heard the voice of the boy, and God's angel called to Hagar from the heavens and said to her,
What is the matter with you, Hagar? Do not be afraid, for God has heard the voice of the boy there where he is. Get up, lift the boy, and take hold of him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation.
Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the skin bottle with water, and gave the boy a drink. And God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the wilderness, and became an archer. He took up dwelling in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. At that time, Abimelech, together with Phicol, the chief of his army, said to Abraham,
God is with you in everything you are doing. So now swear to me here by God that you will not deal falsely with me and with my offspring and with my descendants, and that you will deal with me and with the land where you have been residing with the same loyal love that I have shown you.
So Abraham said,
I swear to this.
However, Abraham complained to Abimelech about the well of water that the servants of Abimelech had violently seized. Abimelech replied,
I do not know who did this. You did not tell me about it, and I heard nothing about it until today.
At that Abraham took sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. When Abraham set 7 female lambs apart from the flock by themselves, Abimelech said to Abraham,
Why have you set these 7 female lambs here by themselves?
Then he said,
You are to accept the 7 female lambs from my hand as a witness that I dug this well.
That is why he called that place Beersheba, because there both of them had taken an oath. So they made a covenant at Beersheba, after which Abimelech got up, together with Phicol, the chief of his army, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. After that he planted a tamarisk tree at Beersheba, and there he called on the name of Jehovah, the everlasting God. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. Chapter 22. Now after this, the true God put Abraham to the test, and he said to him, Abraham. To which he replied,
Here I am.
Then he said, Take, please, your son, your only son whom you so love, Isaac, and travel to the land of Moriah, and offer him up there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains that I will designate to you. So Abraham got up early in the morning and saddled his donkey and took 2 of his servants along with him, and his son Isaac. He split the wood for the burnt offering, and then he rose and traveled to the place that the true God indicated to him. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place from a distance. Abraham now said to his servants,
You stay here with the donkey, but the boy and I will go over there and worship and return to you.
So Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and put it on his son Isaac. Then he took in his hands the fire and the knife, and the 2 of them walked on together. Then Isaac said to his father Abraham,
My father.
He replied,
Yes, my son.
So he continued,
Here are the fire and the wood, but where is the sheep for the burnt offering?
To this Abraham said,
God himself will provide the sheep for the burnt offering, my son.
And both of them walked on together. Finally they reached the place that the true God had indicated to him, and Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac hand and foot and put him on the altar on top of the wood. Then Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife to kill his son. But Jehovah's angel called to him from the heavens and said,
Abraham, Abraham.
To which he answered,
Here I am.
Then he said,
Do not harm the boy, and do not do anything at all to him. For now I do know that you are God-fearing, because you have not withheld your son, your only one, from me.
At that Abraham looked up, and there just beyond him was a ram caught by its horns in a thicket. So Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering in place of his son. And Abraham named that place Jehovah-Jireh. This is why it is still said today, In the mountain of Jehovah it will be provided. And Jehovah's angel called to Abraham a second time from the heavens, saying,
By myself I swear, declares Jehovah, that because you have done this, and you have not withheld your son, your only one, I will surely bless you, and I will surely multiply your offspring like the stars of the heavens, and like the grains of sand on the seashore, and your offspring will take possession of the gate of his enemies. And by means of your offspring, all nations of the earth will obtain a blessing for themselves, because you have listened to my voice.
After that Abraham returned to his servants, and they got up and went back together to Beersheba, and Abraham continued to dwell at Beersheba. After this it was reported to Abraham,
Here Milcah has also borne sons to Nahor your brother, Uz his firstborn, Buz his brother, Kemuel the father of Aram, Kesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel.
Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. Milcah bore these 8 to Nahor the brother of Abraham. His concubine, whose name was Rumah, also bore sons, Tebah, Gaham, Tahash, and Maacah. Chapter 23. And Sarah lived for 127 years. These were the years of Sarah's life. So Sarah died in Kiriath Arba, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham began to mourn and to weep over Sarah. Then Abraham got up from before his dead wife, and he said to the sons of Heth,
I am a foreigner and settler among you. Give me a property to serve as a burial place in your midst, so that I may remove my dead for burial.
At this the sons of Heth answered Abraham,
Hear us, my lord. You are a chieftain of God among us. You may bury your dead in the choicest of our burial places. None of us will hold back his burial place from you to prevent you from burying your dead.
So Abraham got up and bowed down to the people of the land, to the sons of Heth, and said to them,
If you agree to let me remove my dead for burial, then listen to me, and urge Ephron the son of Zohar to sell me the cave of Machpelah, which belongs to him. It is at the edge of his field. Let him sell it to me in your presence for the full amount of silver, so that I may have a property for a burial place.
Now Ephron was sitting among the sons of Heth. So Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the hearing of the sons of Heth, and before all who entered the gate of his city, saying,
No, my lord, listen to me. I give you both the field and the cave that is in it. In the presence of the sons of my people, I give it to you. Bury your dead.
At that Abraham bowed down before the people of the land, and spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people, saying,
Listen to me, if you will. I will give you the full amount of silver for the field. Take it from me, in order that I may bury my dead there.
Then Ephron answered Abraham,
My lord, listen to me. This land is worth 400 silver shekels. But what is that between me and you? So bury your dead.
Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out to Ephron the amount of silver that he had mentioned in the hearing of the sons of Heth, 400 silver shekels, according to the weight accepted by the merchants. Thus the field of Ephron in Machpelah, which was in front of Mamre, the field and the cave in it, and all the trees within the boundaries of the field, became confirmed as Abraham's purchased property in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all those entering the gate of his city. After that, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave of the field of Machpelah in front of Mamre, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Thus the field and the cave that was in it were transferred by the sons of Heth to Abraham as property for a burial place. Chapter 24. Abraham was now old, advanced in years, and Jehovah had blessed Abraham in everything. Abraham said to his servant, the oldest one of his household, who was managing all he had,
Please, put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by Jehovah, the God of the heavens and the God of the earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I am dwelling. You must go instead to my country and to my relatives and take a wife for my son, for Isaac.
However, the servant said to him,
What if the woman is not willing to come with me to this land? Must I then return your son to the land from which you came?
At this, Abraham said to him,
See that you do not take my son there. Jehovah, the God of the heavens, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my relatives, and who spoke with me and swore to me, To your offspring I am going to give this land. He will send his angel ahead of you, and you will certainly take a wife for my son from there. But if the woman is unwilling to come with you, you will be free from this oath. But you must not take my son there.
With that, the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swore to him concerning this matter. So the servant took 10 of his master's camels and departed, taking along all sorts of good things from his master. Then he went on his way to Mesopotamia, to the city of Nahor. He had the camels kneel down at a well of water outside the city. It was about evening, the time when the women would go out to draw water. Then he said,
Jehovah, the God of my master Abraham, please grant me success this day and show your loyal love to my master Abraham. Here I am standing at a spring of water, and the daughters of the men of the city are coming out to draw water. May it happen that the young woman to whom I say, 'Please, let down your water jar so that I may take a drink,' and who replies, 'Take a drink, and I will also water your camels.' Let this be the one you choose for your servant Isaac, and by this let me know that you have shown your loyal love to my master."
Even before he finished speaking, Rebekah, who was the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with her water jar on her shoulder. Now the young woman was very beautiful, a virgin. No man had had sexual relations with her. She went down to the spring, filled her water jar, and then came back up. At once the servant ran to meet her and said,
"Please, give me a little sip of water from your jar."
In turn she said,
"Drink, my lord."
With that she quickly lowered her jar upon her hand and gave him a drink. When she finished giving him a drink, she said,
"I will also draw water for your camels until they are done drinking."
So she quickly emptied her jar into the drinking trough and ran again and again to the well to draw water, and she kept drawing water for all his camels. The whole time the man silently stared at her in amazement, wondering whether Jehovah had made his trip successful or not. When the camels had finished drinking, the man took out for her a gold nose ring weighing a half shekel, and 2 bracelets of gold weighing 10 shekels. And he said,
"Please tell me, whose daughter are you? Is there any room at your father's house for us to spend the night?"
At that she said to him,
"I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, whom she bore to Nahor."
And she added,
"We have both straw and much fodder, and also a place to spend the night."
Then the man bowed down and prostrated himself before Jehovah and said,
"May Jehovah be praised, the God of my master Abraham, for he has not abandoned his loyal love and his faithfulness toward my master. Jehovah has guided me to the house of the brothers of my master."
And the young woman ran to tell her mother's household about these things. Now Rebekah had a brother whose name was Laban. So Laban ran to the man who was outside at the spring. When he saw the nose ring and the bracelets on the hands of his sister, and heard the words of his sister Rebekah, who was saying, "This is the way the man spoke to me," he came to meet the man, who was still there standing by the camels at the spring. At once he said,
"Come, you who are blessed by Jehovah. Why do you keep standing out here? I have made the house ready and a place for the camels."
With that, the man came into the house, and he unharnessed the camels, and gave straw and fodder to the camels and water to wash his feet, and the feet of the men who were with him. However, when something to eat was set before him, he said,
"I will not eat until I have told you what I have to say."
So Laban said,
"Speak."
Then he said,
"I am Abraham's servant, and Jehovah has blessed my master very much, and he has made him very wealthy by giving him sheep and cattle, silver and gold, male and female servants, and camels and donkeys. Further, Sarah, the wife of my master, bore a son to my master after she grew old, and he will give him everything he has. So my master made me swear, saying, 'You must not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I am dwelling. No, but you will go to the house of my father and to my family, and you must take a wife for my son.' But I said to my master, 'What if the woman is unwilling to come with me?' He said to me, 'Jehovah before whom I have walked will send his angel with you, and will certainly give success to your journey. And you must take a wife for my son from my family and from the house of my father. You will be released from your oath to me if you go to my family, and they will not give her to you. This will release you from your oath." When I got to the spring today, I said, "Jehovah, the God of my master Abraham, if you will make my journey successful, here I am standing at a spring. What must take place is that when a young woman comes out to draw water, I will say, 'Please let me drink a little water from your jar.' And she will say to me, 'You take a drink, and I will also draw water for your camels.' Let that woman be the one whom Jehovah has chosen for the son of my master." Before I was finished speaking in my heart, there was Rebekah coming out with her jar on her shoulder, and she made her way down to the spring and began to draw water. Then I said to her, "Give me a drink, please." So she quickly lowered her jar from her shoulder and said, "Take a drink, and I will also water your camels." Then I took a drink, and she also watered the camels. After that I asked her, "Whose daughter are you?" To which she replied, "The daughter of Bethuel, the son of Nahor, whom Milcah bore to him." So I put the ring on her nose and the bracelets on her hands. And I bowed down and prostrated myself before Jehovah, and praised Jehovah, the God of my master Abraham, who had led me on the right path to take the daughter of the brother of my master for his son. And now, tell me if you wish to show loyal love and faithfulness toward my master. But if not, tell me, so that I may proceed one way or the other."
Then Laban and Bethuel answered,
"This is from Jehovah. We are not able to say yes or no to you."
"Here is Rebekah before you. Take her and go, and let her become a wife to the son of your master, just as Jehovah has spoken."
When Abraham's servant heard their words, he at once bowed down on the ground before Jehovah. And the servant began to bring out articles of silver and of gold and garments, and to give them to Rebekah. And he gave valuable things to her brother and to her mother. After that, he and the men with him ate and drank, and they spent the night there. When he got up in the morning, he said,
"Send me off to my master."
To this her brother and her mother said,
"Let the young woman stay with us at least 10 days. Then she can go."
But he said to them,
"Do not detain me, seeing that Jehovah has made my journey successful. Send me off, in order that I may go to my master."
So they said,
Let us call the young woman and inquire of her.
They called Rebekah and said to her,
"Will you go with this man?"
She replied,
I am willing to go.
So they sent off their sister Rebekah and her nurse and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said to her,
"Our sister, may you become thousands times 10,000, and let your offspring take possession of the gate of those who hate them."
Then Rebekah and her female attendants rose, got on the camels, and followed the man. So the servant took Rebekah and went on his way. Now Isaac had come from the direction of Beer-lahai-roi, for he was dwelling in the land of the Negeb. And Isaac was out walking in the field about nightfall to meditate. When he looked up, why, he saw that camels were coming. When Rebekah looked up, she caught sight of Isaac, and she quickly got down from the camel. Then she asked the servant,
Who is that man there walking in the field to meet us?
And the servant said,
"It is my master."
So she took her veil to cover herself. And the servant told Isaac all the things he had done. After that, Isaac brought her into the tent of Sarah his mother. Thus he took Rebekah as his wife, and he fell in love with her, and Isaac found comfort after the loss of his mother. Chapter 25. Now Abraham again took a wife, and her name was Keturah. In time she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan became father to Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Dedan were Ashurim, Letushim, and Leamim. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldaah. All of these were the sons of Keturah. Later on, Abraham gave everything he had to Isaac, but Abraham gave gifts to his sons by his concubines. Then while he was still alive, he sent them eastward, away from Isaac his son, to the land of the east. The years of Abraham's life were 175 years. Then Abraham breathed his last and died, at a good old age, old and satisfied, and was gathered to his people. His sons, Isaac and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, that is in front of Mamre, the field that Abraham had purchased from the sons of Heth. There Abraham was buried, with his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God continued to bless his son Isaac, and Isaac was dwelling near Beer Lahai Roi. This is the history of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, whom Hagar the Egyptian, the servant of Sarah, bore to Abraham. Now these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their family origins. Ishmael's firstborn, Nebaioth, then Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Timah, Jeter, Naphish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their settlements and by their encampments, 12 chieftains according to their clans. And Ishmael lived for 137 years. Then he breathed his last, and died, and was gathered to his people. And they took up dwelling from Havilah near Shur, which is close to Egypt, as far as Assyria. He settled near all his brothers. And this is the history of Isaac, the son of Abraham. Abraham became father to Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean of Paddan Aram, the sister of Laban the Aramean. And Isaac kept pleading with Jehovah regarding his wife, because she was barren. So Jehovah responded to his plea, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. And the sons within her began to struggle with each other, so that she said,
"If this is the way it is, why should I go on living?"
So she inquired of Jehovah, and Jehovah said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples will be separated from within you, and the one nation will be stronger than the other nation, and the older will serve the younger. When the time came for her to give birth, look, twins were in her womb. Then the first came out, red all over, and was like a garment of hair, so they named him Esau. After that his brother came out, and his hand was holding on to the heel of Esau, so he named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she gave birth to them. As the boys got bigger, Esau became a skilled hunter, a man of the field, but Jacob was a blameless man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau, because it meant game in his mouth, whereas Rebekah loved Jacob. On one occasion Jacob was boiling some stew, when Esau returned from the field exhausted. So Esau said to Jacob,
"Quick, please, give me some of the red stew that you have there, for I am exhausted."
That is why his name was Edom. To this Jacob said,
"First, sell me your right as firstborn."
And Esau continued,
"Here I am about to die. What use is a birthright to me?"
And Jacob added,
"Swear to me first."
So he swore to him, and sold his right as firstborn to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank, and he got up and went away. Thus Esau despised the birthright.